There are a lot of hobbies in the world, but some of them are only made for billionaires and multimillionaires. One good example is a form of yacht racing, where you have to spend hundreds of millions of dollars to compete with it. And when you actually win, you don't really get a massive prize. You might get some sponsorships, but not a lot. Another hobby for multimillionaires is skiing in a resort that's not actually a resort. You go to a certain mountain with your helicopter, get dropped off at a mountain where nobody has skied before, and it's extremely dangerous, especially in terms of avalanche. One of the most dangerous hobbies for rich people you've probably seen in the recent news, the Titan submarine, or should I say submersible. There is an American company called OceanGate, and what they do is take money from rich people and take them down to the Titanic wreckage and get paid massive amounts of money. OceanGate charged $250,000 per person to ride on the submersible. They pay $250K, get on this thing, and go down 3,800 meters to the Titanic wreckage, where it has been laying there for over 100 years. It's interesting to know that James Cameron, the director of the film Titanic, has been on this voyage for 33 times. But not to make the movie about Titanic, just as a hobby, James Cameron holds a world record as well. He has gotten to the greatest depth on planet Earth in the Marianas Trench. With the special submersible, James Cameron went as low as 10,908 meters, and no other human has gotten this low before. On June 18th, 2023, meaning last week, 5 people get on the Titan submersible to go see the Titanic wreckage. One of these passengers was the CEO of the company OceanGate itself, and he was the engineer and the person in charge of the submersible. Stockton Rush was the co-founder of OceanGate as well. The other passengers were these guys: Paul Nargeolet, a French man that was 77 years old, Hamish Harden, a British man that was 58 years old, and a father and son billionaire that were from Pakistan, named Shahzada Dawood, and Suleiman Dawood was his son. They get on the submersible to see the Titanic. The wreckage of the Titanic is 740 kilometers from Newfoundland, Canada. The 5 people plus this carrier boat go to the wreckage site. They get inside the submersible and they're let down slowly. They go down for an hour and 45 minutes with no problems, but connection gets cut off and they can't communicate with the carrier boat anymore. They continue to try to contact them, but they're not successful, and they're forced to call the US Coast Guard and ask for help because the oxygen levels were not going to last for too long. The US Guard had a duty to find this submersible. The co-founder of the company and the CEO, Stockton Rush, received a lot of warnings from other people to not use this thing and not put people's lives in danger. Rob McCollum, an expedition leader and consultant, would always warn Stockton to stop putting his clients at risk and urged him to stop using this sub. But Stockton wouldn't care and continued to do so. McCollum says, "I think you are potentially placing yourself and your clients in a dangerous dynamic." And Rush responds and says, "I'm tired of the industry players who try to use a safety argument to stop innovation." Stockton would send plenty of emails to different explorers and experts that I'm tired of hearing it and you guys are against innovation. What is this little submersible made of anyways? The body is made up of carbon fiber and titanium. It has a giant thick acrylic glass that allows the passengers to see outside, and it has a thickness of 380 millimeters, which is 38 centimeters. I don't know if this was a joke or not. The control of this submersible was with a Logitech PlayStation controller. The Titan had 4 electric motors and it has a steady speed of 5.5 kilometers an hour. The US Coast Guard has been looking for the Titan for about 80 hours and they haven't found anything. But eventually the US Navy that had supplies down there looking at the ocean floor, they found a debris field that seemed like it matched the Titan. And this debris field was about 500 meters away from the Titanic. They immediately announced that the submersible had been imploded. And by imploding, we mean it exploded inwards or crushed. I don't know what Stockton Rush was thinking. He put 4 passengers in an equipment that was not tested this deep inside the ocean. They also announced that the chances of them living is extremely slim. When the insane pressure of the ocean has crushed a machine like this, nobody is gonna stay alive. Admiral John Miger says the way this submersible had been crushed shows us that everything happened in a split second and it wasn't something that happened slowly. You might say, how much pressure is actually down there to cause an implosion like this? You have to know that the depth of 3,800 meters, the water pressure is like putting the entire Empire State Building on top of you. And the Empire State Building weighs about 365,000 tons. So how did the Titan go down there before with no problem? But you have to know, the Titan had never gone down to the Titanic. It was only tested not that deep, and this was its first voyage. And it seems like Stockton Rush wanted to save some money and take 4 other people with them and get $1 million out of it. So how much does OceanGate have to pay in lawsuits? Basically $0, because every single passenger that paid to pee on the submersible, they signed their life away, and anything that happened to them, OceanGate was not responsible, and every single one signed it before they got on. Some say that these people suffered in there because they didn't have much food or water, and the depth of the ocean is extremely cold and it was freezing in there. But experts believe that they died instantly, and that's about an hour and a half after they went down. After 111 years, when the Titanic took 1,517 lives, and now 5 dead bodies has been added to the pile. So it's 1,522 people.